Hey, this is Brian Corder with Ignite Music Magazine, and we're doing an interview here with Neil Starr and Dane Campbell of Phil Campbell and the Bastard Sons. We were talking to them a little bit earlier, but the recording just started. So my first question was, tell us a little bit about the band for some of our listeners that are our readers that don't know about the band and how it came about. So go ahead and start with that.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Brian. Well, my name's Dane Campbell. My dad, Phil, was in Motorhead, and we started a band a few years ago with my other two brothers, Todd and Tyler, and Neil Starr, who's in this interview. We started playing some cover songs for a bit of fun. We started doing some local gigs, and then we got offered some festivals, and we were like, oh, this is good fun. We should really maybe start taking this a little bit more seriously. And back then we were called Phil Campbell's All-Star Band, which kind of worked at the time. But then it was summer of 2016. We decided, right, we're going to start writing our own material and make a proper band. So we thought we'd better change our name. So that was when we changed it to Phil Campbell and the Bastard Sons, which is fairly controversial to some people, but some people seem to like it. My mother did not like it, which is pretty obvious.
I wonder why.
Yeah, I wonder why, exactly. So yeah, now we're all kind of trying to do it as our main focus. Obviously, with Motorhead being no more, and we released an EP in 2016, which is that's gone down pretty well, and we spent a lot of 2017 on tour and playing some festivals. So now we've just got a first full-length album coming out on the 26th of January.
I was just going to ask you about that. You got the new album. What's the name of the album?
It's called The Age of Absurdity.
Okay. How did that name come about?
Neil's probably the best one to answer that.
Well, it was actually Dane's brother, Todd. We have like a little WhatsApp group for the band, and he messaged in saying, look, I've come up with this album title. What does everyone think? And it just seemed to be very poignant, and for the time we live in. And I read back on some of my lyrics, and it tied in with some of the songs I'd already written. Some of the lyrics I'd already written were already like influenced by some of the crazy stuff that's going on in the world. So it just seemed to fit really well. And then we came up with the artwork. Well, Todd came up with the artwork idea also for the album, and that title fitted in really well with the artwork concept as well, which is like a early 2030s vaudeville circus kind of theme. And obviously circus life is pretty crazy, so that all kind of tied in.
So was the album already ready or done, or did the name of the album come up before the album was done or the songs written?
I think the title came, I can't really remember, if I'm honest. I think it came around the time we were recording, I think. So a lot of the songs were already written. It wasn't something that, it's not a concept. It's not a concept album in any way. It wasn't like the album title came first and then we wrote the album kind of thing. It was, I think it was more of a thing in hindsight that it fitted in with everything else, because to be honest, a lot of my lyrics I'd written them, but I haven't really shared a lot of what I had with the rest of the band at that point. So Todd wouldn't have known that there was a connection, so to speak. So I just think it's a really good title. It sums up a lot of what's going on in this mad world.
So do you guys ever think that the band would evolve into this, what it is now, or?
Me personally, no. 100% no.
Well, like at the start, we always thought it was going to be a part-time thing, didn't we?
I mean, I guess we never saw, or I guess even hoped that the Motorhead would end, you know.
Yeah.
And obviously, while Phil was in Motorhead, there was no way that we were going to be anything more than just a band that played a few gigs a year kind of thing, because Motorhead, as everyone knows, they were a very, very active band. They toured and recorded all the time. So we knew that there wouldn't be a lot of time for us to do anything seriously. And like Dane said earlier, it was a bit of a party band, and we had a lot of fun doing the shows we did at that time, whenever we did them. But yeah, I don't think there was any ideas of grandeur at all. And then, you know, all of a sudden you're on stage supporting Guns N' Roses, and you're thinking, how the hell has this happened?
Yeah, that was crazy.
You know? That's the beauty of it, I guess. I mean, you never know what's around the corner, and you know, fundamentally, we were doing the band for what I consider to be the right reasons, which is just because writing and playing music is really good fun. There's no like, nobody's doing it because they have to. You know, no one's being forced to do it. You're doing it for number one reason, which is for enjoyment.
Yeah, that's the best way to do it, I think.
I think so. Once you start focusing on like money and stuff like that, and deciding on things purely because of that, then you know that's when it starts getting a bit difficult. I mean, obviously, unfortunately, every band that becomes professional, you know, it is then a business. So there is always going to be an element of having to make certain decisions based on that. But I think at the core, you have to remember the reason why you started doing it in the first place, which is just for a love of playing music, and
the love of music, and you know, letting other people hear it. Yeah,
exactly. But I guess, like I say, it unfortunately does become a business at some point, which you know, you have to then make certain decisions. But you know, I think we've all kind of been on the same page with this and wanted to first and foremost just have a lot of fun with the music, and I guess because we've had that freedom to do it that way, then it's kind of just taken its own path and hasn't been restricted by anything else.
Yeah. Yeah, when it starts to become a business, then more of a business and only a business, it's not as enjoyable. I understand that. So let's talk about the new album. Are you enjoying playing the new songs, and what's a little bit different from this new album than from the EP, kind of maybe musically and lyrically? What's the difference?
Well, I think that there's a lot more variation in the songs. With, you know, I guess when you write an EP, you don't really have as much freedom really to kind of vary up the styles and things like that. And for anyone who has heard the EP, one of the songs is an acoustic song on that. So there's 4 rock songs and then an acoustic song. And, you know, there's a decent amount of variation in those. But I think when you've got, you know, 11, 12 tracks to play with on an album, you can kind of be a little bit more adventurous, take some bigger risks, and you know, you can just experiment a lot more with that, which I think was really fun when we came to writing it and when we were in the studio.
It's come pretty easy?
It was really easy, actually. It was a lot easier than I kind of first imagined it would be. We kind of started. It was when we were on tour last year. We came up with a few riffs in sound check and things like that. And then during the summer, we kind of went in for a few full-on writing sessions, and it came out pretty quickly, which was nice because you know, a lot of bands struggle with that kind of thing. And I'm sure Neil can talk about his lyrics in a couple of minutes. But with regards to playing the songs live, we've only kind of played 3 or 4 of them so far on our last tour in the UK when we supported Airborne. And it was really fun to play, and it was really amazing to see the reaction from the crowd. Because I guess we didn't really know what to expect, and they hadn't heard any of the songs before. So it sounds like it's going to be quite easy. Yeah, it's going to be. It sounds like it's going to be fairly easy to get the crowd going with these new ones. And I'm looking forward to kind of putting more and more in now. We're going to be going on a headline tour soon, so I guess we've got a lot more room to play the new stuff. So yeah, definitely, really love playing them. So Neil can probably explain about his lyrics now.
Lyrics, yeah.
Okay, yeah. I mean, the EP. I always approach my lyrics the same way, really. And I'm very heavily influenced by, things I see around me. Things that have happened in the past. Quite an emotional person, so lyric writing for me is quite a good way of expressing myself, in a way that I don't normally, find easy to do in day-to-day life. So I find music helps me loads with that, get things off my chest. And like on the EP, actually, the song Spiders, Phil said, write a song about spiders. So that was something new. That was something new for me, because it was like I'd never really been given a topic to write about before.
It just usually comes into your head, and a little different process.
Yeah, I on this album, he didn't give me anything for this one to kind of work off. But I enjoyed writing the lyrics of Spiders because it's like a slightly different challenge, having to approach it from someone else's idea. But yeah, I mean, lyrically, there's a bunch of different ideas in the album. I mean, we talked about it already, like stuff that's going on around in the world, and like I'm not a political person, or the band aren't a political band, but we're all affected by some of the stuff that's going on by Trump and other leaders around the world, and that's going to influence people whether they want to admit it or not, And I guess I think of Donald Trump a little bit when I sing the song Big Mouth off the EP. Not that the song is about him, so to speak, but it seems to fit now.
Yeah, it does.
There's a bunch of people that come to mind when I think of that song. But one of the songs on the album is just like, I think it was one of the last songs I wrote lyrically, and I was like, I want to write something a bit different. And one of the boys was like, why don't you write about that night we had when we finished a tour and the venue gave us a free bar afterwards all night. They were like, stay as long as you want, just drink what you want.
Oh wow!
So we had a pretty wild night, and it was a lot of fun. It was the last night of tour, so everyone had a bit of a blow off of steam, And so there's a song on the album called Freak Show, which is about that night, and a bit more lighthearted. And there's the song we spoke about earlier about vinyl and stuff, and the whole host of different things really in there.
Are those some of your favorite songs, or do you guys have a specific song on the new album that you like to either play or sing or both, or ones that stand out?
Yeah. Well, in terms of playing live, like I said, we've only played a few of them so far. The one Neil just mentioned called Freak Show, we did play on the last tour, and that was really fun to play. And I love playing that because it just reminds me of that night we had, and it was just such a good time. So it kind of gives me. I remember it, yeah, yeah, definitely, yeah. Because
my brain remembers what I want to remember of that night.
Yeah, maybe there was things that happened. I don't know.
I'm sure there's stuff that happened.
I remember pouring my own drinks.
There you go.
So I got to that stage. Pouring my own drinks.
Yeah, I remember Todd was bartending at some point.
Idea. Todd was actually he was what I call a Barney Gumble from The Simpsons when he was lying under the taps and we were pouring the taps into his mouth, directly into his mouth. So that was
I'm sure you guys have many nights like that.
Well, there hasn't been that many over the years, but hopefully be more to come. But we had to fly home the next morning.
I remember the bus was leaving at 6 a.m. So we made the decision at that point. It's like, well, there's not much point going to sleep.
Yeah, just wait until.
So let's just plow through, and the night disappeared pretty fast. But
yeah, it did.
It was a good night. I remember losing my mind to Jimmy Eat World at one point. Jimmy Eat World came on. I think Dane was DJing at that point.
I was DJing as well. Yeah.
It's cool. I mean, it's as a singer, I don't get much chance to go crazy drinking because
like
I have to look after my voice and rock and roll as that sounds. I'm not.
Yeah, that's true.
Unfortunately, not lucky enough to be one of these singers that can go and get smashed every night and still be able to sing. I have to. Yeah. I know from experience that I've got to look after myself. So
we're all like that. We're pretty much all like that. I think we all respect the fact that we're musicians and we've got a job to do the next day and things. So
that's good.
I think the only one of us who can kind of get away with it is Tyler, because he only has to play the bass, so it's pretty easy for him to rock up on a bass with a hangover. But no disrespect to Tyler, but he's got the easiest job.
No disrespect the bass players.
Yeah, you gotta let loose sometimes. So.
Oh yeah. But this days off on tour for things like that.
Yeah.
But we're pretty good. We want to give the best performance we can.
Phil often says, your dad often says that the Phil Campbell and the Bastard Sons dressing rooms are a lot different to the Motorhead ones.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's
a lot more chilled out. But no comment there. But it's pretty different.
You guys didn't hang out backstage with Motorhead very much?
I guess. I have back in the day. I went. It was only kind of like once a year, or when they'd play in the UK, and we'd go to a show with my family and my mum and things like that. There was one time when I was around. I think I was about 20 years old, and I went on tour with my dad for like 4 days on their tour bus to help, and I was like kind of helping them out, and that was a cool little insight. I remember because the band had their own bus. It was my dad, Mickey, and Lemmy on the bus, and then there was one of their assistants on the bus with them, and I was on the bus with them as well. So it was quite cool, and they have a lot nicer tour buses than what we have with this band, and it was fun. And I remember Lemmy came back from the casino, and we'd been out for a drink somewhere, and we had a little chat, and it was one of the few times I remember kind of just chilling out and hanging out with Lemmy and
I was going to say, what are your fondest memories of Lemmy?
Well, that was probably one of them. Having a personal kind of conversation, just me and him, and chilling out. I can't really remember the details of it, sadly, but most of my other experiences of going to Motorhead shows, everyone would be very separate. Each band member would they do have separate dressing rooms normally. Mm-hmm. Lemmy certainly would have his own dressing room, so it would normally be a bit of a, say hello, maybe have a quick photo, and then it would kind of be like, oh, I'll be back with my family and my dad's other guests and things like that. So previous to that, it wasn't a lot of kind of social stuff going on, really. Because Lemmy always had his own guests and he always had lots of guests with him and industry people and things like that. And if you think most of these were probably London shows, that's where all the industry people go and the journalists. So, you'd normally be busy doing things like that. And so there was not a lot of time for that. But
he was pretty a private guy too, wasn't he?
Yeah, I believe so. And, and when he had time to chill, he wanted to chill and play on his gambling machine in his dressing room and things like that, So, there was no, that's what he did. And, it's pretty common knowledge. That's what he likes doing. And I remember actually when I was really, really young, and I remember he used to have games consoles on the tour bus. And I've always been into like gaming and things like that. So I always thought that was kind of really cool because he was like a grown up, he was older than my dad, so he was kind of like a proper grown up playing the same kind of like video games that I was playing, and that was kind of cool. But I wish I never got to play with him, but that would have been a good memory, playing a 2-player game with him or something. That would have been amazing, but sadly that never happened. But I've only just thought about that now when you asked the question. But I had a lot of bit more hanging out with Mickey D. I guess I remember. I guess is this a family show? Well, I remember once.
It's not too much.
I went to a Motorhead show with a lot of my friends. When we were kind of drinking age, and then after the show, we ended up going to like a strip club, and like Lemmy was there, and Mickey D was there, and then Mickey D thought it was hilarious, and he bought me a lap dance. And, that was hilarious. I thought that was funny. So I'm always going to remember that. So little things like that, but it was only really when we used to go to shows, because everyone lived so far away. Mickey lived in Sweden, my dad lived in Wales, and obviously Lemmy lived in LA. So it was only moments of hanging out with the band at UK shows really.
Yeah.
And like I said, it was once a year maybe, or once every 2 years on average.
Yeah.
I guess they add up.
Good.
They build up over the years. Yeah, man, it was cool.
Yeah, got some good memories out of it. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Oh, now you guys have a released performance coming up for YouTube.
Yeah,
YouTube,
that should be
with
fun.
Nuclear Blast. With Nuclear Blast on the Nuclear Blast YouTube channel. Can you tell us a little bit about that? I mean, is it just?
We were and ahhing about what to do, where to go basically when the album comes out. Because obviously, there's so many different places you can go and do things in different countries, and it's difficult to kind of decide where and what to do. So we kind of came up with the idea of doing like an intimate performance that we could stream. So then, obviously everybody in the world could kind of be involved in the release day. That was kind of the idea behind it. So we're doing it in YouTube space in London on the 26th, and I think they've run some competitions for some fans to win some tickets and stuff, and it's just going to be a really intimate, small show that we're going to play. That's going to be then obviously streamed live across the world for anybody to take part in, really. So that was the kind of thinking behind it. It was like originally we were going to just do a London launch gig, and then it evolved from there, really.
Well, that should be pretty fun.
I think it's a better idea.
I was going to say that sounds like a good idea. I mean, I don't think anybody else has done that I know of. So.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, as long as all the technical aspects work.
You're never gonna you can't recreate the live atmosphere while sitting behind a computer. It's impossible.
No.
But at least it's a way of involving everybody on the day of release. It's obviously a special day for us that we're going to be releasing the album, our very first album. So the more people we could involve in that, the better for us, really. But yeah, you're never going to be able to capture that live feel, which is why live music will hopefully never die, because you can't recreate it anywhere else.
Yeah. Speaking of live performances, you got your European tours coming up too, pretty fast.
Yeah.
You guys are ready to hit the road and just kick some ass, or?
Ready?
I'm sure we will be when it comes. Yeah.
I can't wait for it, but if it was tomorrow, I wouldn't be prepared. But it's one of those things where I guess we're all itching now to rehearse the new songs, get to play those new songs live, and it'll be nice. The live ones we have been doing from the album, it'll be nice to be able to play those to people that would have also been familiar with them, because people would have heard the album by then. Whereas over the last few months where we've played these songs, people haven't had a chance to hear them anywhere else before, so you're not familiar with how they sound. And I think it makes a big difference when you're listening to a song and you already know. We're really excited for it, and hopefully we'll manage to get to America at some point this year too.
Yeah, we do have what my next question was going to be, if you were going to make it over this year.
Unfortunately, I don't have any dates I can give you now, but it is something we've definitely expressed an interest in doing to our booking agent. So hopefully we can work something out. I mean, we're coming to Florida at the end of October to do the Rock and Wrestle cruise with Chris Jericho. So we are.
Yeah, so that's something.
That.
Yeah, so that's something people can get tickets for if they want to have a little vacation on a ship.
But,
and we'll be playing on that.
Have you guys ever
and
played?
If you're into wrestling, even better. Yeah, we did the motorboat a couple of years ago, which was Motorhead's own cruise ship.
Oh, yeah,
which,
that's right.
They did that twice, and we did the second one. That was incredible.
We did the Wacken cruise as well this year.
Oh yeah.
It's always
in Germany.
It's strange, but it's strangely good. I can't describe it.
Yeah.
It's obviously a weird feeling. Like, especially on the Wacken cruise, there was so much turbulence. We were playing on the pool deck, and
it was crazy.
Quite heavy wind. So like the stage is like we had people holding onto amps for dear life, and like you're struggling just to stand up, let alone play.
Let alone play. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's definitely a different experience, but in a good way. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not a bad thing.
definitely. Yeah. I think it's nice to have something. It's more memorable then. You remember the shows a lot more, and I think it's just a surreal experience for the kind of the fans as well. So they always make the most of it because they probably paid a lot of money to be on there, and they normally go a bit crazy.
Yeah, it seems like
a lot of alcohol consumed.
Yeah, sure. It seems like the thing to do now. Everybody's got a boat cruise, concert or something. That's the new thing, I guess.
Yeah,
it's getting popular.
Well, I'm up for doing as many as possible. I enjoy, especially around Miami. I like a bit of sun myself. We don't get much sun in Wales where we live, so it's great. So
I'm actually in Jacksonville right now, Jacksonville, Florida.
Oh, cool.
But it's a bit cold though. I mean, it's only like 50 degrees out.
Well, that's our summer. That's like.
Yeah. If we were, we'd be putting on sun cream right now in our shorts.
Yeah, well, I don't know about me. But no, man. Actually, me and Neil both Florida. We've both been on vacations and stuff. So
yeah.
Neil said it's one of his favorite places.
I got a friend who lives in
in
the Atlantic. You know that? In the Atlantic.
Where at?
In the Atlantic, down by he lives about 20 minutes from Cocoa Beach.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So I've been there.
Florida is definitely fun and sun.
Definitely.
A couple more questions for you.
Sure.
Dane. Okay, Dane. Name one thing about one thing that. Let me see here. I think I already did that one. Name one thing about good about touring with your dad, and one thing that you think might be bad about touring with your dad.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. No, that's a good question. Well, I think nowadays he's so chilled out on tour. He likes getting up and playing, and then the other time he just wants to chill out and watch DVDs on the bus and stuff, and so it's kind of. And the one main thing I'd say that was good about it is that we actually get to spend time together. Because I don't live with him anymore and things like that. So it's only when I go and visit my parents every now and again that we actually kind of catch up and stuff. So it's when you're going on tour, you spend a block of time together, and which is cool. I hope you feel the same way. Because sometimes I can go weeks without seeing him when if you're not rehearsing or anything, and I go a long time without seeing him, and especially when I was a kid and he was on tour with Motorhead, I literally would not see him for 3 months. And this is before mobile phones, so we'd occasionally ring the house phone, and if I was in, I'd have a chat to him on the phone. That's the way it was back then. So so kind of you got a lot of time to catch up on to make up for all that, I suppose.
Anything bad?
Something well, I don't know. It's nothing majorly bad.
Yeah, that doesn't
I
happen.
guess as a family we get the odd disagreement and things, but I think you'd get that with anyone. Something, there's nothing.
You don't get in a lot of arguments, though. I mean, you're pretty close-knit family.
Sometimes when it refers to decisions and things like that, but generally, it's all pretty chilled out. I'm trying to think if there's any funny examples. One funny thing is that I guess what happens on tour, you get bored a lot. There's a lot of downtime where you're waiting around to load in, or you're waiting around for your sound check and things like that.
Yeah.
And I guess I had to stop my dad eating a pie the other day on the tour bus because I know he just had another one about an hour before, and I was like, Dad, you just had one of those. And he's like, oh, I'm hungry. I was like, you can't be hungry. You just had one of those. And like, that's such a little thing, but it's just little things like that. Like, I'm trying to look after him, and he's trying to look after me. And I guess it's slowly turning around because, I help him with his bags and, things like that. He's not that old, but he's old. He's older.
Everybody gets
so we kind of all look after him really on tour, and we just want to make it as comfortable as possible for him, and just hope that he enjoys the time and he doesn't feel like it's too much of a chore or whatever, So
So Neil, how is it touring with these guys?
I really love it. I've known Dane and his brothers for a long time, so we've been friends for a long time before we even were in the band together. So for me, it's just like being on tour with some of your best friends, and Phil's always been.
That's got to be the best.
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, it's.
Yeah, it's not. We're not
wouldn't want
colleagues,
it any other way.
Yeah.
I've been in bands before, and if there's some people that don't get along, it makes you just want to be at home rather than being on tour, and. Like Dane said, it's already long days anyway where you start thinking about things and you shouldn't be thinking about, it's all about playing on stage is the reason why we all do the tours, and that's what it's all about. But there's a lot of waiting around, but it's good because we've all got a lot of common interests. Like me and Dane both love playing games, so we'll crack out the old Super Nintendo on the tour bus and play some Mario Kart and some Street Fighter and keep ourselves entertained. We all love films, and so we watch films and just hang out. It's a good excuse just to catch up and just hang out with some of your friends, like Phil, obviously Phil is a rock icon, but to me, he's just a friend. He's just become a friend, and
that's cool.
It is cool actually. He's never been anything but this down to earth guy. I've never known him as anything but that.
Is he kind of like a father figure, kind of?
I wouldn't say so. Not to me anyway. Yeah. Just he cares. He cares. He'll ask how my family is, and he'll take interest in things I'm doing, and he'll take the piss out of me because I still play Pokemon on my phone. And, that kind of stuff, you know what I mean? But it's just a good fun place, and I guess that really helps because, like Dane mentioned earlier, and I mentioned, it can sometimes get a bit boring. Sometimes I don't want to sound like, we're doing like the greatest job ever. We're going to be musicians full time, so I don't want to ever complain about it. But no. Sometimes it does get a bit boring because you're waiting around doing nothing, and
see, that's the one thing. I mean, just the fans and stuff don't think of that. There's a lot of sitting around for you guys, and I mean, you can't be out in the open and just do whatever. Sometimes you gotta.
I feel guilty sometimes. So like, you go to a city for the first time, and you've obviously got a bit more of an excitement there because you've never been to that place before. Yeah. And you can see some of the famous sites and and then you go when you've been there 3, 4, 5, 6 times, you start feeling guilty that you're no longer excited about potentially being at this But I remember every time I go to Cologne in Germany, I'm like, I should be at the cathedral now. It's such an amazing place. But I'm like, I've been there so many times, and I feel guilty. Like I know so many of my friends would, kill to be there, and people pay money to go on holidays to these places and stuff. But I guess we've been lucky that we've been and done these things before, and I guess
and experience kind all that stuff. Yeah. Yeah,
and like even though you do spend a lot of time like waiting around, sometimes it still somehow is tiring. I don't know how that works. Mm-hmm. So sometimes you just can't find it.
There's always late nights, every night. Yeah, every night is a late night if you think about it, and it depends on the schedule of the tour, and if you're driving through the night. I know some of us find it difficult to sleep while we're driving, and then some people find it easier to sleep while you're driving, and then
I do not have any problem sleeping.
Yeah, Neil's pretty good.
With my snoring.
Neil's a bit of a snorer. But yeah, it can, especially when you're on a tour bus. I always find I get home and I'm exhausted at the end of the tour. Even though I've got a bed whenever I want, technically, I'm not very good at sleeping in the day. So when we've got like 5 or 6 hours of time to do nothing, I know I can't sleep. So it's not something I can kind of do. Like my dad, for instance, he'll go use that time and he'll have a nap or whatever. I struggle with that, and I know some of the other guys do as well. But we do a lot of we do everything ourselves. We load all our gear out ourselves, and I pack it all away, and so we do have a little bit less time than other bands that don't even need to do that. So when they've got people to do it for them, they've got a lot more
time.
Well, but even more time to do nothing. So it must be even harder. So I load in, and then I sound check, I set up, and sometimes I help out and set up the merchandise and things like that. So there's little things like that help fill your time.
So where do you guys see the? Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. I was finished. I was finished. It's all good. It's all good.
Okay. Where do you guys see the band going from here? I mean, what's the long-term goal here?
Well,
I think
me personally. Sorry, Karen.
Yeah, go on.
I was going to say, for me, I just want to, my dream would be for it to be another amazing year like last year was. To play shows, have fun, write music, and play music that we enjoy, and to hopefully, keep enjoying it as much as we are. For me, it's the best feeling is walking on stage and being able to sing songs, and I kind of go on stage every night thinking, well, this could be, what if this was my last gig? So just give it 100% and have as much fun as possible. And I live every gig like that, really, and I don't take it for granted for one moment. And I just dream of always feeling like that. I don't want it to ever become like a job. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And I want to just keep enjoying it, and that's why I want to do it, personally speaking. And I just hope that this year, if it's half as good as last year, it will be an amazing year. We did some super awesome stuff last year. We had a lot of memories made that we'll keep forever. And if this year can be half as good as last year, then it'll be a brilliant year. And the ideal dream, I guess, would be for people to hear the album and love the album. And we're going to be playing more of our own material in the set. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
sorry, Dane.
Cool. No, I totally agree. Yeah, I totally agree with that. It's kind of, on the short term, it's just that the album gets received well by the fans that already exist. But like from a personal point of view, I'd obviously like the kind of fan base to grow to people who kind of just discover us, maybe don't know about the Motorhead connection, and just like us for the music we play and think we're a cool band. That's why I'd love I'd love the fan base to grow, so it's 50% Motorhead fans, 50% kind of people who just discover us as a new band. Yeah. That's what I think would be. I think that would be a massive turning point. I think this, there is a small percentage of people out there who have just seen us at festivals and kind of thought we were cool, and but obviously at the moment a lot of the fan base are kind of people who used to go and watch Motorhead and love my dad, and it's really good to have their support because the music isn't the same, so we appreciate anyone who does kind of still want to support us for that. And we've got to know a lot of the fans. A lot of them I go on Facebook and things like that, and we've met at shows, and some of them become friends, which is cool. So you got to meet a lot of people from around the world and different countries, and it's cool. So
great.
It
sounds like you guys are having a great time doing it, and I wish you guys all the success in the world, and it seems like you guys are doing it right, and
thank you.
And I appreciate your time. Do you got anything else you want to add?
Right, it's just for the listeners or the readers. We hope we can come to the States at some point. We really would like to. So if we're not announcing anything, it's not because we don't like you. We really would like to come. It's just a lot of logistics, and things to sort out to come across the pond. So wait for the right moment. We'll come over and we're going to love it. And check out the album. Really hope you like it. Check out the older one as well. There's stuff already there. You can check out on your Spotify, your iTunes and things.
Yeah, from what I've heard, I really like the music, so keep up the good work.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you
very much.
Thanks so much.
Okay. That's all I got. So
no worries.
I appreciate you guys' time, and I hope to see you guys in the States. And
let us know if you want to come.
Yeah, I'll meet up and have a few beers with you.
Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be lovely. Yeah.
Get on the Rock and Wrestle cruise. Get on there.
Yeah. Check it out.
Oh
man.
yeah, I should check that out.
Honestly,
do that.
That'd be so much fun.
Awesome.
Okay.
Enjoy your weekend.
All right.
Yeah, have a good one, man. Thank you.
Okay,
Catch
you too.
Appreciate
your time.
Catch you later, Dane.
No problem. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
See you, Neil.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. Bye.